So you're going to be pretty
Okay, we're
conservative.
talking watches with Scotty. We'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But we're talking watches. Scotty, we were talking about column wheel and Cam's chronograph, and I made a mistake. I thought the Breguet was a column wheel, but it's actually a Cam's chronograph.
Many years ago, you thought this?
Yes,
Did you?
many
Okay,
years ago,
yes.
many years ago. But I got to tell you, it's not the end of the world. The Speedmaster 321 had a column wheel chronograph, and now when the 861 they moved to a Cam's chronograph because it was less
Expensive?
parts,
Okay.
less service costs, less maintenance, but not as well regarded. The column wheel chronograph is the cool way to go, and that's, remember with Tag Heuer many years ago they brought out that column wheel chronograph. They used that Seiko. They used Seiko technology.
Okay.
Remember that big scandal? But I got to tell you, Scotty, column wheel chronograph or Cam's chronograph, I think for most people it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter.
I guess.
You know?
Guess so, yes.
The argument, I think, is that the column wheel chronograph is supposed to be more accurate. If the chronograph's running, it can have an effect on the Cam's chronograph. It can interfere.
Mm-hmm.
But how often do you keep a chronograph running for? It's only for small timing exercises, isn't it?
A few 5 minutes, 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Maximum 1 hour intervals, I guess.
Exactly.
If that,
It's really quite strange there. But I got to tell you, Scotty, I love my chronographs. I've got two Cam's chronograph, the Speedy and the Breguet, and I couldn't think of anything more I'd want in life. Those two quality chronographs. What do you think?
Yes. Now, when do I hit you up with the question about the 321 and the Daytona?
Sure, fire away.
Yeah,
Fire
yes.
in the hole.
Yes, a 321 or a Daytona.
321 being the Amiga Speedmaster Man on the Moon,
Vintage.
or a Daytona like a Paul Newman, like a 6263,
Well,
something.
let's even make it harder. Yes, you could compare those two models.
Look,
or,
yeah.
now this is
Yeah.
impossible, but let's
Yeah.
just say new old stock.
Yes.
Speedmaster 321. New
Yeah.
old stock.
Look,
Compared to a ceramic Daytona.
I think the honest answer is there you would have to go with the more modern technology advances in the even though these things are
Unused.
unused.
Untouched.
Look, I suppose it depends. Are you looking at the financial aspects, or are you looking at what would you enjoy to have yourself? I mean, a good condition 321 Speedy with original. Believe it or not, the hands make a big difference, because when you used to send it to Amiga, they changed the hands. So if you've got original hands, that really makes a big difference. And original dial. Look, I think you'd have to go 321.
What would cost more?
321.
If we're talking new old stock,
Definitely
321.
321.
Vintage, a vintage.
Those early chronograph, those early Amigas, Speedmaster, like that CK 2998. You know, that they'd done the reissue on it. Very valuable critters, because they're not the 42 mils. They're smaller.
Will there be a time? I mean, at the moment.
But the any 321, I think, super valuable, highly collectible.
They're about 10 or 12,000, I think, on the market, pre-owned. But because they're all those vintage pieces. They're not really in pristine mint condition. I've never seen one.
High, more money you throw at it, the better it gets, isn't it?
I was just wondering, would they overtake the prices of a Daytona?
Whew. Some Amigas have gone very high, like silly things, like the hands make a huge difference. Look, I would say those Rolex Daytonas, they've gone ballistic. Ballistic, those plastic Daytonas.
I mean, a pristine mint Paul Newman Daytona, original parts.
Yes.
Compare that to a pristine mint 321.
Yes.
What are you going to take?
I'd have to take the Paul Newman.
Yes.
Yes.
So before we're talking new old stock, comparing new old stock 321 with ceramic Daytona, you said the 321.
I think you'd have to go for the vintage Paul Newman, or that type of era. You know, the 4-digit plastic glass Valjoux 727, which is a column wheel chronograph, I believe. That'd be a great way to go.
So you'd have to go the Paul Newman.
I'd have to go that way there. I would love one of those. I've never actually owned a Daytona, any Daytona.
Yes. Now, why is it? It can't be money. You can't say it's too expensive for it. Yeah, but you've got a Patek there, which is worth more than a Daytona.
Yeah, but
you obviously.
I didn't see value in them. I didn't see value.
Okay.
I didn't see value. Didn't see value, Scotty. Did not see value. So
would you buy a if you were to buy a Daytona? Would it be a modern ceramic model, or would it be the...
I reckon the sweet spot would be a steel Zenith movement one.
Okay.
Sapphire glass Zenith movement one. That's the one I'd probably go for.
Would it be at a couple of thousand less than the ceramic models?
Look, they were... because Rolex went to their own movement. They went to their own in-house movement. So they dropped Zenith. I think that's the sweet spot, because their Zenith movement ones, they're not making any more of them, and they're kind of still reasonably affordable. And you can the best combo I'd go for steel, but would be two-tone. That's the cheapest version of it. Two-tone, steel and gold.
So if you sold your Patek and you were to walk into a Rolex boutique, would you find that tempting? Like say they had a Daytona there for sale, steel Daytona, ceramic. You've got your $20,000 for the Patek.
No.
You buy something else.
I'm always a used buyer. I'm a used buyer. I'd never buy new. I want value. You know, very much value shopper.
If you were to buy new,
yes.
Would you buy the
Look,
Daytona?
The Daytona is a great... No, I think the Daytona would be...
Or is there another model that you'd probably buy?
The Daytona's worth such a huge premium. I think the only models of Rolex that you could buy new are the... I think, to be honest with you, Daytona. Next one would be Batman. Next one would be Subbies.
Yes.
Subbies... next one after that there, maybe Explorer, Milgauss, that sort of thing there. No Date Sub, that's kind of thing. But steel sports Rolex, I think that's the thing you'd have to do.
So going back to the 321, have you ever had a 321 in your hands? Have you ever touched one?
I have. They don't feel any different. No. It's hard. You got the movement.
The lugs, the
normally
cases,
they don't have a display back, but it's just the vintage, the older ones. I've had some very early Speedies in my hand, and I didn't really. I love my Speedy. I love my Speedy. I'm happy with my Speedy. Very happy with my Speedy.
Okay.
I love my Speedy. It's
If you were as wealthy as some of your fans are, would you look at investing in a 321?
I think it's a good thing to have. Yeah, it is very cool. Very cool.
Yes.
Any of those vintage Speedies, they can only go up. They're not making any more.
No. And speaking of collections, some people just collect Speedmasters.
Yeah.
That's all they have in their collection, Speedmasters.
Yeah, exactly right. I think it's a bit boring to do that. I'm not really Speedmaster fanatic like that. I like to have some variety, don't you?
Yes.
Variety is the spice of life, Scotty. But I do love my I love my chronographs now. Column wheel. You know, the funny thing is, actually, we'll just cut this one. We'll do another video.